Chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video let's take a look at another very fascinating game played at 2019 European Chess Championship, with the white pieces playing Armenian chess grandmaster Samvel Ter-Sahakyan and his opponent is Belarusian chess grandmaster Vladislav Kovalev. But before starting our game, as usual, would like to sharpen your tactical skills. Please take a look at this position and try to find the winning line for black. I will wait for your answer in the comment section. Back to our main board, and now let's see what happened in our game. Ter-Sahakyan opened up with e4 and Kovalev responded with e5, knight f3, knight c6 and bishop b5. We have the Spanish game, a6, black is choosing the Morphy defense, bishop a4, knight f6, white castles kingside, bishop e7, black goes for closed variations. Here we have rook e1, b5, bishop b3, d6, c3, white is preparing to establish this classical center. Of course, all this is a theory seen many times. h3, knight b8. Yes, black wants to bring his knight on d7 square and is opening up the c-pawn's path. There it goes, d4 is on the board, knight d7 and knight d2. In here the most popular response is bishop b7, after which black is playing rook e8, bishop f8, and actually keeping the pawn on c7 gives black center more dynamic options. But in our game we have c5, which is the second most popular move after bishop b7, bishop c2, rook e8, b3. White is preparing to fianchetto his dark squared bishop, and we have e takes d4, c takes d4, bishop f8, a4, bishop b7, a takes b5, a takes b5, and we have the exchange of rooks on a8. Now comes bishop b2, g6. In return, black also wants to fianchetto his dark squared bishop, which can act as a nice counterbalance to white's monster on b2. And here we have e5, standard move in Spanish game. D takes e5, d takes e5, knight d5, and we have knight e4. And it was in here that Kovalev made a mistake and played queen b6. Well, instead of playing queen b6, it was better to play b4 and then bishop g7. The idea of playing b4 is not to allow knight d6 fork. But in our game we have queen b6, and it turns out that after this move black is starting to face serious problems. Now comes knight g5, and now white wants to go for this e6 move, which will open up his dark squared bishop's diagonal and will give white great attacking chances. Queen c6 was played, a strange move, and there it goes, e6 is on the board. At this point already we can say that black is in trouble. F takes e6 was played, black accepted the pawn sacrifice, after which Ter-Sahakyan made another spectacular move. This time he went for a knight sacrifice on h7. Look at this epic move, guys. By first going for e6 and then knight takes h7, white is simply demolishing black's king side. Now if a move like king takes h7, then knight g5 check is coming, and if king g8, then queen h5 can be very strong. Look at this, guys. G takes h5 can't be played because of this bishop h7 checkmate. And after queen h5, if a move like knight f6, then simply queen takes g6 check, and yes, there is no escape, and then the rook is coming. Black can't capture on e4 with the knight because can get checkmated, and actually black should give away his queen. But once white is winning this queen, the game is over. Yes, the game is over. In our game, after knight takes h7, Kovalev played bishop g7, and we have bishop takes g6, rook e7. Well, if bishop takes b2, then simply rook takes e8, and in here black can't even win the knight because this knight g5 check is coming, and then the queen is penetrating black's camp. Actually, the queen, the bishop, the knights are simply out of the game and can't help their king. In our game, after bishop takes g6, we have rook e7, and we have the exchange of dark squared bishops on g7, after which the light squared bishop retreated back on e4, not even allowing black to move his knight. Queen d6, knight g5, knight f8, and h4, a powerful move which is strengthening the knight on g5, and also at some point this pawn can even march forward, right? Bishop b7, knight e5, queen e7, queen f3. Gradually white is intensifying the pressure. After that brutal combination, actually white managed to win only a single pawn, but black king is exposed and white's position is totally winning. Knight b4 was played with knight g4, bishop takes e4, knight f6 check, king h8, rook takes e4. Yes, the rook is also coming. When you are attacking, I always love to remember this quote, guys. When you are attacking, all your pieces should join the party, and this is what Ter-Sahakyan does. He is partying on the board. Knight d3 was played, and in here Ter-Sahakyan landed the final punch, and finally with a resignation. The queen is under attack. The knight, if he takes d5, then rook takes f8 check is coming, and then rook f7 check. The game is over. That's why after this beautiful knight d5 move, finally black resigned. A very, very beautiful and instructive game by Ter-Sahakyan. The way his pieces were managing to cooperate together were simply astounding, guys. That pawn sacrifice followed by a knight sacrifice on h7 allowed Ter-Sahakyan to activate his bishops, after which black's position collapsed quickly. Thanks for watching. If you liked this game, give the thumbs up. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. Also press the bell button to get notified about new uploads. I will see you in my next video. Take care.